Hey, everyone in LinkedIn, Facebook land. Thank you for joining us today. Today's a really, really special day. I'm really super excited. I'm here with my friend Jackie Castro-Cooper, holistic physical therapist. And we have a great little segment today. I'm going to go over some highlights with Jackie on her book, about her book, The Power of Self-Care, Self-Love, the Physical Therapist Guide to um, Evolving to a Higher Self. So I'm here with Jackie, and for those of you who don't know me, my name is Tina Hong. I'm a holistic health coach, executive health coach, helping stressed out midlifers turn their health around and lose up to 100 pounds of body fat through mindset, nutrition, and habit transformation. So I'm so super glad you're with us today. So today we're talking about a pathway to greater mobility and less pain. This is, we're all experiencing a lot of pain in some respect, physical, emotional, and we know that emotional, spiritual, physical, they're all related. And today I'm here with Jackie, who is, my friend and co-host of the Empowerment Room. In the Empowerment Room, we host a weekly talk on ClubHouse on Wednesday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And she is a holistic physical therapist extraordinaire. And she truly is a leader. And what we're doing right now in this world with people like Jackie is we're changing the paradigm of health. We're changing the paradigm of how we take care of ourselves and how we live our lives so that we can live deliciously. We can live with freedom, freedom from pain, freedom from anguish, and freedom so that we can live a happy life. And Jackie is a truly globally recognized leader in the holistic health community, and she's helping lead millions of people to physical, intellectual, and spiritual healing. And today we're going to discuss highlights from her re-release of her best-selling book, The Power of Self-Care, Self-Love, a Physical Therapist Guide to Evolving into Your Higher Self. And a little bit about Jackie. Jackie is one of the first alternative holistic physical therapists in the U.S. She's attained her master's in physical therapy from the University of South Alabama. She is a professional speaker, business consultant, and the author of The Power of Self-Care, Self-Love. Her mission in life is to share information that is not widely known, that is specifically for the alleviation of pain and suffering. I love this. She's also the creator of the Women's Health Forum, which educates and promotes alternative healthcare for our communities. And she also leads self-care, self-love retreats. Her private practice was born in 2007, called the Gulf Coast Myofascial Release Physical Therapy. She specializes in John F. Barnes MFR and incorporates her other studies to fit the needs of her clients. Jackie supports those seeking to combine both evidence-based research and spiritual healing practices. Jackie has been featured in Gulf Coast Women Magazine, WLOX, Women's Success Magazine, and the Dr. Leanna Show. So welcome, Jackie. Thank you so much for being with me today.
Oh my gosh, the honor is all mine because I'm your biggest fan. I've learned so much. You and I have known each other for quite a while now, and I learned so much from you, and you and I just bounce off each other to be of service. It's all about our clients and how we can help each single person. So you delve with nutrition and weight loss, but you also go through the mindset. So that's what attracted me to you. I said, wow, she does so many things that I do that we need to start to, share information out for people who don't know. So thank you. I'm honored just to be here with you, beautiful Tina.
I love you, Jackie.
Oh my gosh. And thank you so much because yes, today's the day.
Today is the day.
Today's the day. So for all of you who don't know me, I am also the author, like Tina said, but today I'm re-releasing the book, digitally for $1.99. So I would love for everybody just Tina's gonna put the link up in a little bit, so that way you guys can start ordering it. So it's just gonna be for today for $1.99. That's the digital version only. And then
Mhm.
in 3 weeks, I'm going to launch the journal workbook, which
Yay.
Tina actually has been able to see. She was one of the first people that I shared it with, because I wanted her opinion. I was like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And she was reading it with me, and she goes, Jackie, this is really good. Take a look at this and that, and that's good. Move so she was able to guide me through it, because Tina is also writing her book.
Mhm.
So we're waiting breathlessly until her book comes out, hopefully next year. That's going to be so exciting, or maybe this year, who knows.
Who knows? Well, working on it was an evolutionary process, just like
Yes.
our health and our wellness, and practicing, certain ways of counterbalancing stress and burnout. So let's just jump right into it. I want to highlight some of the juicy bits and pieces of Jackie's book during this interview. Jackie, in your first chapter of your book, you write, "We create burnout. Burnout stops us from seeing or feeling our declining health." So tell our audience, can you tell us a little bit more about what this means for people who are beginning to experience health decline and the red flags?
Well, I learned this from my mother and my grandmother, to put yourself first, to care and love yourself first. And that's why I wrote the book, because I noticed that most of my clients coming in had such severe pain. And then I would not only look at their medical history, but look at their life history. Like, what have you been doing? What did you do when you were little, when you were in high school, when you moved on, after you got married or didn't get married, after you had kids or didn't have kids? And so it was the same. They were focused on others.
Mm,
Whereas my mother and grandmother, they were always focused on others, but their priority was themselves first. I never saw my mother or grandmother burn out. My mother was a single mom raising 3 kids. We had no father. My grandmother was the one who cooked and cleaned. I mean, we helped each other, but I never saw them collapse like so many of us collapse. And I had that experience when I couldn't pass my physical therapy license. I write that in the book, how I just I noticed one day, I said, I'm literally destroying myself. I'm burning myself out. I have choices. So for all of you who are watching this, sit down for a moment today and just write on a piece of paper or your journal, what do I need? And that is a key phrase. I actually learned it from, I think, John F. Barnes. What do you need? And then you kind of just put that list down. Okay, I need to sleep. I need to eat better. I need to move, all those things. So connecting with yourself, with your own intuition, which I call God, universe, divine, loving light, we're always being guided, but we put other people in front, or worse, we put work in front. So that's
mm.
my answer to burnout.
I love that. That is so true. And a lot of people walk around with pain or health decline signs, and they say "Oh, it's all right. I'll get over this. I have to get past my work project or my deadlines, or, taking care of my family." But everything else becomes a priority. And before you know it, it's been postponed for so long. That's when you start seeing really serious health decline or red flags. And this is what we're all about, Jackie. You and I, and leaders of the holistic health community, we really want to help people turn things around and change the paradigm of how you care for yourself,
Yeah.
because our health is our wealth. Basically, without our health, we cannot do basic functional things. And so having that mobility also is key. So I always say to my clients, and in all the presentations that I give, what's the path that you want to take 20
Mm.
years from now? What you do right now seeds the next 20 years of your life. You're either ballroom dancing at 90 years old, or 80 years old, or you're in a walker or in a wheelchair.
Mm.
What we do right now is actually seeding the rest of our life. So let's get right to it, Jackie. What is the secret? What do you think is the secret to greater mobility and less pain? You talk about in your book, everyone is a house with 4 rooms: physical, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual. Your book explores each aspects of these rooms, and I love how you frame that. So tell us first, what is the physical room? And you write, what you do is not your identity. And this is so classic because everybody identifies themselves with what they do, what their work is. Are they a mom? Are they a career, whatever, entrepreneur? Are they, um, you know, making millions in the stock market? Whatever it is, what you do is not your identity. So what does this mean in terms of the physical room? Can you share with us?
Yeah, so those are so that I'm going to give you a two-part answer. I'm going to answer before we do the physical, I'm going to answer quickly the self. So
Mm,
your identity. So I was a professional ballerina, and I write in the book, I retired from ballet at the age of 27 and was severely lost. I didn't know who I was. I
mm,
was like, my identity as a ballerina was who I was. I
mm,
remember going to therapy going, I don't know how to be or do anything else. And
mm,
so the therapist says, oh, you have to walk, you have to move. And so that was my first introduction to movement. And I would walk through, I was living in Manhattan. I would walk more, and I would just walk for hours because I didn't know what to do with my life. My identity, now I had to rip it off of me, like taking off, or like I say in the book, unzipping my skin off. My identity was my skin, and that's what a lot of people do today. They are this or they are that. And it's funny, I always I think on my Facebook page I have there, I'm a spiritual being having a human experience, right? That's
I love that. Mm,
from Pierre Desjardins' quote. And that's what it took me a long time to learn. I'm not a dancer. I'm not a mother. I'm not a daughter. No, I am all that. But first and foremost, I am the self. I
mm,
am me. I am a spiritual being. And so I am energy. And so that's the answer to how all of us can just sit down and just go, I'm not this and that. I am just myself. I'm Jackie. I'm Tina. I am who, and say your name. Just, this is who I am. And then the exploration begins because
mm,
we're asking the question, who am I? That means we're evolving. And
mm,
it can be extremely confusing when we're evolving. It's like we don't know where we are. So
mm,
then writing in the journal, that's key for me. That's why I created the journal workbook, which is coming out in 3 weeks, because I was lost. I didn't have a journal that helped me to move from this place to the next. So that's why I created it. And the second part is that's an Indian proverb. You are a house with 4 rooms, and you have to
mm,
air out each room: the physical room, intellectual room, emotional, and spiritual room. And for me, that spells out pies. And everybody loves pie. So every day, if you also want the paperback or hardcover, you can get that at another time. But I have a contract at the end that you can fill out for yourself. This is all between you and the self, so that you can figure out your identity, but also move forward and get out of pain and discomfort.
mm.
So the physical room. So do you want me to share all the 4 rooms right now?
Yeah, so I'm just going to go through each room, but intellectual room, if you can, you write about the benefits of optimism. And I would love for you to just kind of explain what that means. And this is just another highlight because there's so much good stuff in this book. But I just kind of picked and chose like little bits and pieces that I really resonated with. So in the intellectual room, how does the benefits of optimism help us heal, and have greater mobility and have less pain?
That's a great question. And the way I'm going to answer this is epigenetics. Epigenetics is just there's a little if you take a little old fashioned they're back actually, glass bottles of Coke, and
Mm,
there's a little bottle cap on the top. Those caps are called immediate early genes, IEG. So when we have a thought, I'm going to go tonight and have some fun, I'm going to take myself out to dinner. You can go with someone else, but take yourself out to dinner. That's the hardest thing to do. And I'm going to take myself out to dinner. Immediately, you're sending messages to your genes, but the first 3 seconds are received by IEGs, and they say, oh, Jackie's happy. She has something to look forward to. That changes your whole body, and you switch into the mode of happiness. That's called a high vibrational frequency. So you go from low vibrational frequency, which is fear, anger, anxiety, depression, grief, guilt, all those things. And you start to think, oh, okay, so now I'm going to do something wonderful for myself tonight. And you have something to look forward to. And that actually can decrease pain because it decreases the cortisol and adrenaline that's flowing through your gut. You and I are big gut and brain people. So the optimism is invaluable because it moves your energy systems. Because remember, we are spiritual beings. It moves the energy systems up. And that's super powerful to go entering from the low vibrational frequency immediately. But you and I can do it. We don't need anybody else. We don't need our parents, our husbands, our friends. We don't need anybody to do it. We can do it ourselves with the self.
Right.
So that's how powerful optimism is. It can change your body physiologically.
Right, absolutely. And I talk about this and work with my clients, and when our subconscious thoughts from our past and our traumas and our hurts and our wounds and our, we may be stewing in this kind of low vibrational state. And that low vibrational state is signaling to our bodies. It's signaling to our bodies. So what Jackie's talking about is raising our messages that we say to ourselves, the messages that we signal to our bodies. Our bodies are listening. Our brain is listening to all of that. And so that the benefit of optimism is such a great value that, and they're studying more around this in terms of neuroscience. And
yes. Can I introduce the book, The Biology of Belief by Dr. Bruce Lipton, Dr. Joe Dispenza, The Placebo Effect. There's people healing themselves with sugar pills because the doctor said, or the healthcare practitioner said, hey, take this pill. It's going to cure blah, blah, blah. What is happening? 50 trillion cells in your body are literally going, oh, that's a sugar pill. She's healing herself. Wonderful. Or that's a great thought that she's in meditation right now, or she's in yoga right now, and she's meditating. Oh my gosh, she's repeating a mantra. I am healing myself. I am health. I am love. I am infinite, divine, loving light. And then the body goes, oh, okay, that's what I am. That's how powerful affirmations are. And that's how they work epigenetically. That's how they work. So it's beautiful.
It is beautiful. And more brain science is coming out with how our dialogue, our self-speak, our affirmations, how we look at the world around us actually changes our physiology. So I love that. So I want to jump into the emotional room. That's the third room. So you write, we must heal our past in order to evolve. So tell us, Jackie, how can we connect with emotions in order to heal?
Well, I'll give you an example. Most of my patients are severely chronic pain patients, and so they come in and, they want to talk about exercises or, I teach the John F. Barnes myofascial release method, but our pain is connected to our emotions and our past traumas. So we have to bring that to the table. So on day one, that's what we discuss is the emotions and the connection to the trauma. There's so many people who have severe back pain because they were verbally abused, sexually abused, emotionally abused. And that has to come out. They have studies now that doctors who add that on their evaluation paper, when you're sitting in the waiting room, answering the question, were you ever sexually molested and so on? That's all they did was ask the question on a piece of paper. They didn't even discuss it with their patient yet. Those people healed. Isn't
Absolutely.
that fascinating? So I go a step further and I always have this conversation, if you want to, if it's okay with you, if you'd like to share any traumatic events, because it is directly connected to your chronic pain, is directly connected to how you're acting today and how you feel. And so then, we push a little bit more with different other techniques that I do. And then, of course, psychotherapy, getting a social worker and so on, just to be able to share these things that are now awakening. But guess what happens? They start to heal and their pain goes away and their range of motion comes back. So
Mm-hmm.
that's fascinating to me.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. And, you've worked with hundreds of clients and have experienced how when you're healing emotional pain, you can have greater mobility and that inflammation just kind of naturally goes down. It's amazing. It really, our body is a spiritual emotional being,
Mhm.
and it is listening. So what about the spiritual room? You mentioned something about connecting with the spiritual body. What does that mean? Most people might not understand what that means, connecting with the spiritual body.
There's a great book called The Field, but my book is good too on that. But I just wanted to introduce The Field by Lynn McTaggart, and so she's a science journalist, I believe. And so we have this electromagnetic field, all of us. In the 70s and 80s, they would use the word aura, right? We don't use that word anymore so much, but it's just energy. We are energy beings. That's what being a spiritual being means. We're made of energy. And so it's really, really important to connect with that. How to do it, for me, I recommend for everyone to journal.
Mhm.
And that's connecting to the emotional component and also to cry. So I've just
Mhm.
personally, I've experienced, I'm in New York City now. I live in Biloxi, Mississippi, and I had to fly quickly on Saturday morning because my mom was not doing well. And then I had to attend a friend's funeral. And so that was catastrophic. And what I did was I cried the whole time. And then I would take breaks. Then I would say, okay, I'm really going down in the dumps now. How can I be more optimistic? And so I would see the good things that were happening, not just the bad. I would look at Instagram, a funny thing, just to bring my energy up, because we have to feel, but we can't stew, like you said, Tina. We can't stew there because that's dangerous. You have
Mhm.
to go in and out, in and out. I remember someone said, I went to a yoga retreat, and someone said that the doctors were doing this research, and they said, you know what? If someone was angry for 21 minutes, they would die of a heart attack. That's
Mm.
fascinating. So most of us, we get angry, but then we take a break. We go watch a movie. We go out for dinner for a friend, and we express, but for people that stew, that's severely dangerous. That's why you and I take dance breaks a lot. Oh my
Yeah.
God, the world is falling apart. Let's put on some dance music, because you have to remember that you are not in control.
Mm.
So we need to cry. We need to roll up the windows in the car and scream, or go into the room and scream into our pillow and hit the bed. That cannot stay within your body, because then those 50 trillion cells are like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. This is the worst thing in the whole world. We need to just stay here. And then all of a sudden the body starts to send you messages. Oh no, please stop thinking that way. I'm going to send you a message: neck pain, headache, gut pain,
Mhm.
lack of breathing. And the body says, please stop thinking that way, Jackie, Tina, because you're going into this level of low vibrational frequencies and you're slowly killing us. So
Right.
that's why the red flags is important.
Oh my God, I love that. The physical, intellectual, the emotional, and the spiritual, all of this is so connected. And
Mhm.
it's not woo-woo stuff. This is truly evidence-based research and studies that are coming out more and more about neuroscience and the power of thought and the power of our how we look at things, how we raise our energy. And so if you are suffering with chronic pain and you are suffering with having limited mobility, and if you're in your midlife, this is really important to really get down. And I love that we were able to talk about this. And this book is a gift to the world. This book is truly it has exercises in the back of the book, and I can't wait till the journal comes out.
Have the book? Do you have the book?
I have your book, yes, and
Yeah.
I love this book. Sorry. I have it all flagged with a little, notepads. I'm sorry, this is not showing on the camera, but basically, this book has exercises in the back, and truly, truly is a gem of a gift in the work that you did with this book, and you live out the philosophies and the beliefs of this book through your life. And it takes practice, folks. This is not just like a one and done, but this is literally learn the principles and tenets of being able to heal yourself. Because you know what? The healthcare system's not going to save you. It's not. We're changing the paradigm of health, and you have the authority and the power to turn things around. You must believe this because nobody's going to save you like you. you know?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. You are the doctor of the future. They used to say, who was the one with the quote, the famous philosopher or something? The doctor of the future is you. Well, the future is now, guys. We are able to heal ourselves. We can do so many things, but we can also do it with our healthcare practitioners. Tell your doctor that you want to, start to wean off your medications, have a conversation because they're there to support you. Doctors and nurses and myself, physical therapists, occupational therapists, we're here to help you, but we need to know what your needs are. We need for you to guide us as well. You want to start getting off medications, let's have that conversation, but you got to do it with, your whole team of healthcare practitioners. And that includes natural, holistic, natural paths as well. People like you, Tina, you're a mindset health coach. People need to work with you because you are going to bring an awareness and already have to hundreds of people like I have, that it's all about what you're putting in your mouth. It's all about timing. It's all about joy. It's all about creating love and happiness. It's all about walking on the beach. I love watching your Instagram posts because they remind me to get my butt out of the house and going out. So thank you for that.
Yeah. So, our discomfort is sometimes made up in our minds, right? Our pain and suffering is coming from our thoughts. And so I am an NLP practitioner, neuro linguistic programming practitioner. And part of that work is truly about changing reframing our definitions around, ourselves, our identity, and our health and well-being, and how we look at the world. So I love that, Jackie. This book is truly a gem of a piece here.
And
The power.
do you have the link that you can share with everybody so
Yeah,
everybody?
so along the bottom here. So today is a huge day because only for today, today, March 1, Jackie is re-releasing this book in hardcover. And the link is in the comments as well as below in that little banner that's scrolling across the screen at the bottom of the screen. From 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Let's help Jackie become a bestseller again. So definitely go to Amazon, download her Kindle version for $1.99 today, and get this juicy book because you can't live without it. It's just such a necessity. Okay, so a necessity to really heal yourself and learn how to get out of pain and suffering. So this is just so important. So please support Jackie by purchasing the download on Amazon at the link that's in the comments as well as on the banner that's going across. And what's important to do, Jackie? So when they download the book, it's important to what?
You have to click on it and access it, or else Amazon doesn't see that you're actually reading the book. So just buy the book and then just click on it and just open it up. And I invite everyone to read the first page of the introduction. That's talking about you and the evolution of your life, how your life is like a stanza. It has lines and then a space. We're always evolving. So that just read the first couple of pages on the introduction as soon as you buy it, or just read the whole book. It's an easy read. It's not that big of a book. I think it's 172 pages, but I've been blessed with excellent Amazon reviews. And I just know that this book is making a life change for so many people that read it. And thank you, Rita. I'm sorry, Tina, for saying that, because you have read it for a while now. And it's just I really appreciate that everyone is accepting the fact that they can heal themselves if they care and love themselves first. And
Right.
I know that that's a foreign thing, but we really have to introduce that, because it's what my mom and grandma did. You know, they
Mhm.
focus on themselves.
And what we know for sure is that we have been really rough and tough on ourselves for a long time. And then when we experience interference around the world like we are today in the last couple of years, we have to take this power back. And it takes practice. It's not just a one and done. It's an evolving thing. So get the support that you need from professionals like Jackie. She is offering her holistic physical therapy online. So this is something that's accessible around the world. You don't have to be in Biloxi, Mississippi to have access to Jackie. And I've also included her link in the comments. So feel free to reach out to Jackie. And I hope this was really informative. And I'm just so excited. I can't wait for you to be the bestseller. I can't wait for your journal. This is really, really important information that you must have to be able to heal yourself from chronic pain and gain greater mobility in all aspects of your life. So, thank you, Jackie. Anything else? Any last words?
We're going to show everybody how to have greater mobility as soon as you turn that music on. So we're going to be like dancing. I'm going to be moving. I'm going to get up. I'm going to shake the booty. We're unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
Woo! I love that song. So
Yes. So,
yes, thank
so thank you so much. We are unstoppable when you choose to take your power back and your health back. So thank you for joining me today. And you guys have an amazing week and upcoming spring equinox. And get Jackie's book before 2 o'clock today. Everybody go on to Amazon.com and download her Kindle version. Thank you so much for being with us today. Give us a comment below if you have any questions, or if you want to give Jackie some praise and love, because she certainly needs love, and we all need love. And especially right now with her mom and her best friend, she's just truly a leader in health. And so we just so appreciate you. Thank you so much, Jackie.
And I appreciate you. So everybody get in touch with Tina. You are just a life-changing person, and I am grateful that you're here on this earth. So everybody connect with Coach Tina, because she makes a difference in my life for sure.
I love you, Jackie. I love you, love you. Okay, have a great week, guys. Thanks.